How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, dude? It's been a while.
Not too bad, man. Actually, really enjoying life, just chasing the kids, getting ready to head out there and throw some stuff on the grill and get out to the pool, man. So just enjoying life, man.
Well, I like that intro right there. So if you're good to go, let's keep the interview going and just bump right in, yeah?
Let's rock, man.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what he's up to, but the man himself, Robert Watley, CFFC lightweight champion, joins us today. How you doing other than hanging with the kids? How you been since we last seen you, man?
I've been really well. Preparing for this next opportunity in Tampa here in a little less than 2 weeks. Preparation has been going well, and really just been zoning in and getting ready for the task at hand, man.
CFFC 133 down in Tampa, July 26th. We're like, I don't know, a week and a half out, almost, I guess, 2 weeks out, something like that. So,
About that.
like, what's your energy level like? Like, what's your mindset get this close to a fight?
Interesting because I like to be a very stoic. I'm more of a stoic person, or I find I perform better when I've been stoic leading up to the bout. But man, it's so hard to be stoic with 3 kids and a wife. So I'm finding my pockets to be stoic, and then I'm really just enjoying the family, because what could be an energy drain, or if I don't have the proper perspective, it's really life giving to see my kids growing up and to them. They just want to interact with their dad and play with their dad. So I'm just really excited to be someone that they want, in their lives. So excited, man.
I mean, that's awesome. That's great that's one of your main goals, especially as a fighter. I know it's a hard life to balance sometimes,
Indeed, man. And truly, they are the legacy. So trying to balance those two things, man, it can be tough at times, but when it pays off, it's really rewarding.
And in terms of fighting, we haven't seen you since you won the belt last, December 15th, CFFC 128. It's been a bit now. Like, any reason for being outside of the cage that long, just waiting for the right opportunity?
That's kind of what we were waiting for. I was under the impression that I had hopefully done enough to interest some of the bigger organizations and get a call, but apparently there weren't enough openings, or what it was. What I had laid out in the cage was not impressive enough, so I'm fortunate that I get an opportunity to go out there and hopefully have an even more impressive performance and see where we go from there.
And then we'll talk about Marquez in a second here, and not that you're looking past him when I ask this, but is that certainly the goal here? Get a big win and then get that big phone call from, UFC, PFL, whoever it be?
I mean, if I want to continue to do this, that's pretty much what the wife has said. I'm 34 years old. We got 3 kids. I got to start, this has got to start panning out a little bit more on the monetary side. So, yeah, man, if I can't get picked up at a bigger organization, I'm going to have to look to closing this chapter of my life. So it's kind of sad, kind of bittersweet, but it is what it is, man. I have a family I have to take care of, and this is a selfish pursuit. So people are sacrificing so much around me, and I can only do this and not get, as much from it as I can while I can, because I only got a few years left, brother.
So what does that look like at not fighting? Like, what would you be doing? Do you have a full-time job, coaching? What does that look like? Any idea?
So this is left field, kind of. I actually have been working the last 2 years with an arborist. Dude, I have fallen in love with tree work.
That's awesome.
I love it, man. I love getting up and starting the saws. Like, dude, I'm a madman starting the saws in the morning. I love, running the chipper. I've learned how to, really what I really appreciated about that job is, one, that the skills are transferable. I'm learning to drive, heavy machinery. That's a transferable skill, man. I'm looking to get my couple of my cards for driving. Again, transferable skill. So I think working with this arborist and learning to do something outside of fighting and outside of being an athlete, it's really been valuable, because it's allowed me to see that I have value in this world outside of being an athlete, and like, it doesn't all end when this ends. So I know, I've heard the saying that an athlete dies 2 deaths, and I want to make sure that, like, the first death is as gentle as it can be, because I know, as a 34-year-old man, I still think about like how I could run or do things as a 20-some-year-old man. So of course I'll miss it when it's gone, but I think I'm putting things in place so that it won't be as devastating as it possibly could be.
So I'm 27, and I'm just starting to notice certain things, like my knees in jiu-jitsu, man. Rubber guards getting harder. Like, there's So like I'm trying to work with that mindset too. Like, no, I'm not wilting. I just got to figure out how to, transform with it all. So
Dude,
that's the mindset to have.
I got a funny story for you. So adaptation is the name of the game, brother. So I have refused to wear knee braces because I will not be the old man in the gym. I will not be the old man in the
You're
gym.
bold.
So my knees are they've been really, really, torn up this camp, man. Just a lot of hard grappling and grinding. And dude, I finally, so my wife was like, all right, you're not going to do the knee braces. At least get some KT tape. So I'm like in Walmart, like trying to not let anybody see me get this KT tape. And I get home and I'm like, I got to try it out before I go to practice, see, how I do. So I put on some YouTube videos and me and my kids are watching. I give them a couple strips so they can put it on them. And I put the KT tape on, dude, and I stand up and I was like, I admit I'm the biggest idiot ever. I just got like 5 years back on my legs. It was crazy, man. So all that to say, like adaptation and understanding, like, so we're losing something, but we're also gaining something somewhere else. So just figuring out how to make you work for you best, man.
I'm never stepping on a mat without knee braces. Like, old man. But hey, like you said, got to adapt, got to learn. So that's life. That's life. Father Time's undefeated, but humankind so far is undefeated too.
There you go, brother. There you go.
We'll persist. But let me ask you about this fight now because, Marquez is a very exciting opponent. Marquez Forrest, that is interim lightweight champion. So this is really the unification bout, so to speak, right? Like, what are your thoughts on Marquez? What are your thoughts on the fight overall?
Marquez is, to me, from top to bottom, out of every opponent that I've ever faced, he's probably one of the most physically gifted people I will be sharing a cage with. So that in itself, it deserves respect. You have to respect somebody who's that physically gifted and can generate that kind of force and that kind of power into his strikes and his takedowns. So already that dude's got my respect, and that I'm not overlooking him. Like, I'm looking at these athletes down the way, and he's about as tough athletic wise as you can get as a 55 or so. I think he's going to be definitely a challenge. I'm going to have to use wit and not brawn to beat this guy. Cause I mean, honestly, dude, going shrimp for shrimp with that guy, that's just like 50-50, toss him up. And I don't like playing those games, man. I don't like betting.
Did you watch his last fight against Farikio?
I did.
How, like, I don't know. Like I said, I do some training, but I've never actually done an MMA fight. So I imagine it's hard enough. But then if somebody throws on fake getting wobbled and throwing that back to hit you with something crazy, like, how do you manage that as a game plan? Do you think about that at all?
You have to make sure that I'm patient. I try to be really patient in there. And really what he's trying to do is he's trying to get somebody out of there faster than he needs to. So I just have to be patient and just understand that, like, the moment will be there when the moment's there. And if it's not, then it's not. I always prepare myself to be in there for 25 minutes. That's what I'm thinking. And that's how you don't get suckered into, like, oh my gosh, get ready to here early. It's more, perfect. But, just be wise. And I mean, dude, you're probably not going to hurt that guy to the body. You just body, mama, dude.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
So, with a win here, I know you want the performance to speak for itself. Like, that will be probably your answer to the next question I'm going to say. So aside from the performance, I'm not asking you to beg or any of that. I'm just saying, sell yourself a little here. Let's pretend Dana's watching. Let's pretend Don Davis, no stranger to PFL. They're watching. Someone's watching. Like, why do they need to sign you after a big win here? Like, what does Robert Watley bring to the table?
Well, if Robert Watley had his druthers, I would love shot at redemption with the PFL. I don't know if you know, I was in their inaugural season, and what I think they present to the MMA landscape in they're saying you control your own fate. And that to me as a fighter was like, I love that. They gave me everything that I needed. They gave me a schedule. They gave me a list of opponents, and I knew where I needed to be, when I needed to be there, and who I was fighting. That all I needed to do was take my butt to that cage every 3 months and like battle, and the opportunity to really win life-changing money at the end of that, man. 2025, I'd love a shot at that 2025 lightweight shot belt, man. If we're doing call outs and shout outs and shameless plugs, man, PFL, I want that shot.
Hey, I love it, man. And I love that PFL's around to, like it was just UFC, maybe Bellator a couple years ago. Now there's so many outlets to really shine. PFL's awesome, man.
Thank you. It's great for everybody, isn't it? Right? It's great for everybody, especially great for the fighter. Just the more options there are out there, the better the revenue possibly sharing. Those are another conversation for another days, man. But I've always wanted to leave the sport a little bit better than when I got into it, and I think I might have left a few years on the table that I really could have made a difference. But just if we can just and help educate fighters, because this is only such a short period of your life. You have to try to use this to set up the next period of your life, which is 2-3 chunks of your life. So it's crazy, bro. It's crazy life, man.
Yeah, man, life gets you quick. It's nuts. But talking about setting stuff up is a perfect transition to my next question, because you've been talking about your kids and your family a lot. I know that's a big piece of your life and your motivation. Do you ever get the kids into training? Is that something that ever happens?
Oh, man, I wanted to try to hold them from it as long as I could and let that way I know it's authentic. Like, they want to fight. They want to wrestle. And my 5-year-old now, he's like, I walk through the door and he's already got the 4 ounces on. And he's like, yeah. So there's a little bit like, I would never force that on my kids, because it's a tough life, man. It is a tough go at it. But if it's something they want to pursue, their dad's going to be behind them 100%. Like all of, my family has been behind me. So that's the pursuit they want to go. If they want to do hard knocks, we can do hard knocks. But I try to tell my kids, you guys have beautiful big brains. Use those. Don't get them punched. Use those.
Hey, man, if you can use that brain, please do that instead.
Thank you. You can use that for your whole life. You can only use your body for 30, 40 years.
Facts, man, facts. And last bit of questions for me here is just really wondering about training camp. You're not a guy who's very active on social media. I assume you're more present in your everyday life, something we could all take notes on. So tell me a little bit about camp, man. Like, who you training with? Who's going to be in the corner for this one? How's it been?
I actually have had a couple guys come in. I've had Jesse. Oh my goodness. What's that?
I put you on the spot. That's why.
You did put me on the spot. I have got Jesse coming in. He's fighting for the PFL. I am so sorry, Jesse, for forgetting your last name. He's been coming in and helping me out. It's probably because he's been punching me in the head so dang much. I have my buddy Josh Jackson. He's a big 170 guy. He's out of my gym for his 88. Who's been giving me a really good look. He's actually a southpaw and really similar to Marquez. And my coach Sebastian Ramirez. He's our head striking / MMA coach. And he has just poured into me so much for this camp. I've had people try to wrangle me and have me be a certain way throughout my career, and he's been the first coach who's actually tried to, of course, wrangle me a bit, because every crazy athlete needs to be wrangled a teeny bit. But he's allowed me to flourish within myself and not try to take me too much out of myself. So we're really starting to build a really cool relationship, and I'm really appreciative of having him as my set of eyes outside of the cage.
And I mentioned Tampa at the very start of this, but I mean, you guys bringing a big crew. Like, you excited to fight in Tampa?
I have a decent amount of people coming down from the Maryland, the East Coast, some people from Jersey coming down. It's not going to be too ridiculous. It's mostly just like my almost immediate family and a few other people. We just really like to keep it really small and then just share with people how everything goes afterwards. But like the tighter your ranks are, the harder it is for them to be infiltrated. So just rolling with the day one crew, man.
And any reason for Tampa? Is that just what happened? Because I know last time, I think it was in Jersey, Atlantic.
Yeah, that's just what happened, brother. Like, it's a lot of times we don't have a lot to say. They just say, here's the opportunity, and you either say nay or yay. And I said yay. Like, it's been, like you said, it's been since December, and I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm an old man in this game, so I only have so many months I can be sitting before the bones start to get old and creaky.
I have a new perspective on this, by the way, before I let you go. The whole old man thing at 34. 10 years ago, like, right, I think that was kind of true. I think the MMA prime was 28, 29. But go down the list now of UFC champions. It's all 34, 36, 37. Like, I think it's the new prime, man. I think you're in the prime.
I would tend to agree with you. Only that I took the 4 years away from the sport because I had substance issues problems. I had to take some time away and deal with some health issues. So I think my body is a little older than the 34. So I only say that when people are like, "Oh, I'm old," and I'm like, dude, unless you've had like some traumatic things happen to you, like 34 is not that old,
right?
But I've had some pretty traumatic things happen to me, so.
I mean, it makes sense, but glad you're back. Glad you're a little bit. Glad you're back. Glad you're killing it there, brother. CFFC champion. Like, I don't know. It gets better than that, but not much better than that. Very exciting stuff. So before I get you out of here, Robert, anything you want to say to all the Cage Free fans, all your fans, everybody watching this on Cage Side Press? If so, mic is yours.
First, I just want to give thanks to the creator, Yahweh. Thank you so much for just an opportunity to come out here and still be doing something I love, something I'm passionate about, to be sharing it with Jay, to be sharing it with CFFC, to be sharing it with all the fans, to be sharing it with Marquez. Thank you guys all for this opportunity. There was a time when I wasn't sure that I would be able to do this again, and to be able to do this here one last time is so special. So I'm just really glad that I could share this time with all of you guys. And Jake, thank you so much for the interview, dude. This is a great interview, man.
I mean, this was a pretty surface level, you know. I like to go deeper with the fighters, so maybe after the big win, we can get it going again.
I'm down, brother.
But
I'm down, brother.
I appreciate your time, especially so close to fight week. So, Robert, my man, thank you again. Kick some ass. Don't tell Marquez I said that, though. And I'm not going to see you there, but best of luck, and hopefully we'll catch up afterwards.
Look, I won't tell him, but I'll try to handle him for you, brother. I got you.
I don't like that. It's not like that. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, CFFC 133, July 26th. Don't